Oh, I'm live early. I didn't mean to press that button, but we're going to just go with it. So in the meantime, I'm going to try and set this up. Oh, goodness. Sorry about that. I'm a little early, so I'm just going to wait for a few minutes to see who shows up. So there it is. Oh, let me make sure this is turned down. Okay. Yeah. So you get no makeup, no earrings, Stacy, today. Oh, it's been quite a day. It's been quite a weekend. I've been trying to get some stuff put together for you guys. I know I've mentioned the art journal membership that I've got coming up, and it's gonna kind of be a way for me to prepare for a workshop that I'm teaching in Taos. I'm trying to remember where the camera right there. Sorry, I'm looking off into the distance. I'm trying to remember which way. All right. Anyway, but yes, Taos. I'm going to be in Taos in September of 2020, teaching creating a travel journal to harness inspirations from the trip and the retreat in the countryside, and so that you can use in your artwork while you're there, and also to carry it with you, because there's so many inspirations to be had in such a beautiful place like Taos, that you know what, I'm going to take these glasses off for a minute. There it is. In Taos, that sometimes you can't make all the artwork that you might want to make uh, using within a week's time. So this is a way to kind of harness that. Anyway, so back to the class. So I'm preparing for that class coming up, and so what I'm going to do is build this membership on art journaling. And it's not just making a pretty journal. It's ways that you can harness your inspirations, that ways that you can use art journaling to hammer out ideas about color, about form, ways that will apply to your art. So it's kind of like a cross between making an art book merged with like a sketchbook that you learn how to use in art school. And it's something that I've been doing, and it's something I learned from when I was an art director. I had some coworkers who did this, and the coworkers who did this kind of journaling every day, it's a book they kept with them every day. They they were some of the most successful art directors I've ever worked with. One of my friends, he was always working in his book. I mean, just personal stuff, just kind of forming his ideas about what he thought art was and what his colors were, and building what is his brand, just in work that he did for himself. And he was teaching at South by Southwest. I mean, he went on to LA and was doing art for an ad agency that handled a lot of movie trailers and stuff like that. So anyway, that being said, I'm so back to this weekend. So I went down the rabbit hole of figuring out putting a membership site on my website, and my brain kind of hurts because it's all a lot of tech stuff. So and Mercury is in retrograde, and this light is kind of shining into the camera. All right, so today, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on. Let me show you this piece. And excuse my messy studio. I'm just keeping it real. All right, so that's what I'm working on today. I'm gonna work on that a little bit, and see how far we get, and that's what I got for you. And I've got the iPad set up so I can see any comments that you guys might have. Am I looking? Where's the camera? Here? No, here, here, there. Okay. Anyway, so I can see comments, and otherwise I'm just going to be weaving along and talking. And so anyway, so I'm going to turn the camera around. Hey, Kathy. Yay! Glad you can make it. All right. There we have it. How's that? How's that angle? That's not too bad. Okay. And actually, I'm going to be working on this section over here. So, but that's okay, because I'm not doing a, maybe I can turn this. Is that a little better? No, I don't. Yeah, actually, that is a little better. Let's see. Right there. Okay. All right. So there we have it. And I have pants on today, so we good. All right. So here we go. So right now I'm not working with this shuttle, but I tell you, this is still attached. And why is this still attached? Where am I? Where am I and what was I doing? Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm going to have to go back across with this one. So I'm going to set this on the bench next to me. And I'm going to continue to weave. So this is a wall hanging that I'm working on. And this actually is a piece that I did for the demo for Lace and Open Space. And I'm going to put a link in the show notes about that. I'm also going to put a link in the show notes for the information about that art journaling class. And it's going to be a lot of fun. But I have to tell you, I'm also looking at doing another membership that I think will be really, really good. And I'm not going to exactly say what it is right now, just because as I started to go down the rabbit hole of all the techie stuff of building a membership site and all the new software and stuff like that that goes with that, that learning curve is super steep. So I think I'm going to hold back on the second membership to make sure I can get the first one up and running. And I think you guys are going to love the second one, but the first one is one that I have to get going to kind of prepare me for that show in Taos. But I tell you, a lot of people, I know a handful of you guys, yay, I'm glad you got the time change right, Kathy. Yeah, I tried to put that, were you able to use that converter? I put a converter into the newsletter. And also, we also just went to standard time as opposed to daylight savings time. So that makes it a little easier, but I put a converter in the newsletter, and I'm hoping that worked for everybody. Anyway, all right, so back to this, the art journaling workshop, I have to tell you, is really awesome, because it's one of my favorite things to do, and I've kind of fallen off the wagon a little bit, and I do fall off the wagon quite a bit, I'll be honest. But when I do art journal, I tell you, my work is all the better for it. So, and I'll, as that starts to come closer to happening, I'll have some information showing you how my art journal led to artwork. And so you can see what I mean and see how I actually use it. And maybe you'll get some ideas as to how you can use it. All right. So I'm just weaving on this one little section, and I'm not beading with this beater because this section is taller than this section. So I'm using just a wooden comb. I used to use this. I used to put essential oils along the base of this and comb it through my hair. But nowadays I just use it to comb my weaving. Anyway, I got lazy and Googled it for instead. Oh, well, that'll work. But I'm glad you could make it. Yay. All right. So I'm just doing a boring old weave at this part. And I don't, I'm trying to think how much more I have of this. I think I'm just going to be weaving. I always get confused as to how big this piece is. I think I'm going to be weaving just a little bit, and I'm going to be adding a little detail. I don't know if you can see down here. I added a little drape thing, so I'm going to add another drape up here. Anyway. All right. about it. So yeah, sorry, we didn't have a live cast last week. I kind of zoned out after doing my first time ever making it to live. Yay, Joanne, I'm glad you made it. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't have a live cast last week, and just flat out, I think after getting that class released, I was just in a zone and needed to I just kind of decided I wasn't going to go live on Sunday, and I couldn't tell you what I did. So, but this time I was a little more prepared, except for I had to shift gears. Like I said, I've been glued to my computer. You know, when I start to work on website stuff, I get in that zone, and sometimes I forget to take breaks. So this is really good for me to take this break, because otherwise I get all bleary-eyed and my back gets all hunched up, and I get carpal tunnel, and that's just no good. So this is good. Taking a break to do some art weaving. All right, so this is a piece that I'm gonna do as a wall hanging, and I'm gonna create a ceramic header that's probably 2 pieces and pretty wide for this. I tell you though, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be live next week, and I tell you why. You guys, my 99-year-old grandmother passed away yesterday, and I tell you, I can't help. I mean, it's sad. Yes, it is sad, but I tell you, how can I mean, she was 99. I mean, I'm not sure that she had the quality of life in the last 5 years that one would want to have. She was in a nursing home. She had dementia. She was not in a good place. So, but I tell you, I'm proud of her for making it to 99. And let me tell you, she was not a health nut by any stretch of the imagination. She used to cook Southern Cajun cooking, and if you know what that's all about, that's a lot of fried food and salt and spicy. And she used to drink martinis a lot. And but you know what? She lived her life. She lived life, and that's probably why she lived so long. And she loved her family fiercely, and she used to cook for them every week. I mean, the extended family, not just like, immediate family. We're talking, cousins. She had 5 brothers and sisters. She was the oldest of 6. And so she would feed all of their kids and their grandkids and their grandkids' kids. And she would send everybody home with meals for the week, and she just loved to host people. So I think it was that and just living her life that made her live so long. So I'm really proud of her for doing that. But anyway, that being said, I am probably going to have to be out of town, because once they move her from Houston to New Orleans, then they're going to have a funeral. And so I need to go to that. All right, let me see. Where am I at? I need to, okay, so this is about the same height. So I'm going to, you know what, I need to pass this back through the other way. All right. So this needs to go this way, and I need to then advance up. You know what? I'm going to advance the warp, because that's not going to fit, because I have my big boat shuttle there. All right. Well, let me do that. And you know what? I am going to actually break this off. Break this off. Oh, and I have a double pick right there. But you know what? I'm going to leave it, because this is one of those pieces where it doesn't have to be perfect. And I really don't want it to be. All right, so I'm going to go over the end piece, tuck this in. All right. Yeah, all right, so we're advancing the warp. Okay. here and here. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna check. Grandmas are irreplaceable. Yours sounds like a star, Stacy. She was, you guys. She was something else. I tell you, she was a party girl. She married a musician who was in New Orleans and played in a swing band, like in the 40s. That was his side gig. He worked at a shipyard. Oh, look at that. I need to fix that. Hold on. So he worked at a shipyard, and she and her sisters, they used to go to his gigs, and they would dance and have a good time. And she used to host, there was a parade that would go in front of her house, and she used to host the bunch of people to her house for the parades, and everybody would, they had a place to go to the bathroom, which is a big deal at Mardi Gras. And she would have like food, and it was just lots of fun. Wow, what is going on here? Is this too tight? Maybe this is too tight. Let's see. Oh yeah. There we go. So I'm gonna tell you, she also worked hard. She dropped out of school when she was in middle school age, like when she was 13, to go to work because her father was an alcoholic. And so she never finished school, but she worked, and she used to be an assistant manager at Learner, which I don't know if there's still Learners around. It was a women's clothing store. So she used to work at Learner, and then she'd come home. They would go on vacation. She loved to go to Vegas. She loved to go to the beach. She would get her hair done, and she was a bleach blonde. Now, I know that looking at me, you wouldn't think of me as a bleach blonde, but she is of German and Jewish descent. So, yeah, which is my dad. My dad's German, Jewish, and Scott-Irish. So she would dye her hair bleach blonde. She'd get her hair done every week, and she loved her family fiercely. She was, whenever she would take us shopping when we were kids, and she would buy the kids a toy and make sure that she would make us meals. Like when my brother Jeff and I would come into town, because her other grandkids were in town, she would make sure that she had meals ready for us that we would want to eat. Okay, what am I doing here? Oh, something got messed up. Okay, I'm just going to make it work. All right, and I'll tell you what happened in a minute. Okay, so this, I hate it when it does this. These are two different, I need to go this way. And then, you know what? I'm going to go back across in the same pick. Because, like I said, I am not paying attention to, I'm going to let it be wabi-sabi. Okay, so I'm going to go underneath this end piece. And then it's going to put the weft in the right position across. It's just going to be double right here. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. Because this is one of those not perfect pieces. All right. There we go. But I have to admit, I hadn't seen my grandmother in a really long time by the time she passed. New Orleans is actually she was in Houston, and that's pretty far away. And she got to the point where she didn't remember people anyway. But the last time I saw her was at my wedding. And I'm glad that she came, but I tell you, it was really difficult for her to come to my wedding. So I'm just glad that she was able to make it. All right, so we're still going across. There we have it. Yeah, and I'm also not going to be live for Thanksgiving because we are going to see Bruce's family in Philadelphia for Thanksgiving. So we got a house sitter, and so we're going to be gone through Sunday then. But maybe I'll do some blog posts. I haven't done blog posts in a while, and I like doing blog posts. But, just sometimes doing live and video is easier, and I know you guys, it's great to connect with you guys through video. Anyway, so I'm gonna put all that in the show notes. I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna put information on the art journaling membership, and what else? Oh, the lace and open space class, where this piece was part of a demo, because I have some open spaces and I talk about that a bit. All right, so I'm just gonna weave this across. And it is like super cold outside today. But I have the heat cranked up because down here, this is the first floor of my townhome, and it gets really cold down here sometimes. So I cranked the heat up before I went live, and so it'd be nice and toasty. Okay. I think what I want to do is, let me see. Let me think about this. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going across. With that lace and open space class, that one, oh, look at that. I went the wrong way. All right, let's try this again. See, I think my brain is still on computer mode, but that's okay. We'll just go back through. And pray it's not going to get hung up on anything in there. Woo! Okay. You guys, I have to show you Jerry. I'm going to turn the camera around to keep it. Jerry my dog doesn't have. He has got really slick fur, so he's not a fluffy dog by any stretch. And so we got him this Halloween hoodie at Aldi, and it is so freaking cute on him. Hold on, let me show you. Say hi, Jerry. Hey, Jay. Hey, Jay Bird. Jerry. Jerry. Isn't that cute? That Halloween hoodie. All right. So, it just makes me so happy to see him in that. He's so funny. All right. Of course, I can't take him out in the Halloween hoodie. I have to take it off him to go outside and put something else on because he looks cute in it, but Jerry is not a friendly dog. He doesn't like people. He doesn't like people. He doesn't like it takes him a really long time to warm up to strangers. And so he barks and is nasty to people. So if somebody sees the dog in a cute little outfit and they're like, oh, cute dog, and they want to come up and pet him, well, Jerry doesn't play that. So just to protect Jerry, my neighbors, and ourselves from liability, we have to take the cute outfit off of Jerry when he goes outside to pee. All right. I'm almost out of this yarn. Decide what I'm doing next. I might add. Do I want to add a texture? No, I think it's time to put that. Yeah, it's time to put that thing in. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to put that thing in and start with a new row after that. Or maybe I'll leave this and lock it in with this yarn. I'm gonna start a new row after this. All right, so let me cut this off right here. All right, now I'll just show you what I'm gonna do. So I have, what I want to do is put a drape right here across these 3 sections. So what I want to use, and I've got like this. Okay, check this out. This is this is a hot mess. This is a leather remnant that I got at the scrap exchange in Durham, and I know I've talked about the scrap exchange before because I get all kinds of stuff there. But I'll put a link in the show notes to the scrap exchange. And evidently this is, let me show you. Somebody was cutting out little rectangles, lots of little rectangles out of this piece of leather, of white leather. So, but when okay, so it's this hot mess, but if I cut it, like if I want a piece like that, all I have to do is cut here and here, and I've got a strip, but I can do that all the way down. Like if I start, it's getting all tangled up in my line. Okay, so if I start like here, okay, I can cut, let's start at a corner. You know, I can just cut apart, you know, it's kind of like cutting, you know, those things that hold the Coke bottles together. Just cutting it to where, and building a strip. So you see how I'm building a, so you see how I'm building a strip here by just cutting, you know, these. So if I'm going in this direction, then I want to take that out and just, and so I'm building a strip there. So that's what I've been doing with this weird, you know, web of leather. But I've built this strip here, and I want to build, so I want it to drape. This is, okay, this is the top over here. This is the bottom. So if I'm draping it, while I'm draping it, it's going to be this way, but it's going to fall this way when I have it right side up. All right, so I have this that I got at the scrap exchange. I also have this. So I'm going to add that. And I also have this. So I'm going to add a couple of pieces of this. Okay, so there's a seam there. So I'm going to go along that seam and maybe make that piece a little longer. So I've got that and that. All right, let's see what other textures I can add into that. Oh, here, this. I also got this at the scrap exchange. I tell you, it's the scrap exchange. The thrift stores are awesome. I don't know if everybody has a thrift store as good as the scrap exchange, but if you've got a thrift store that has all kinds of weird stuff, yeah, that's not looking for the really super clean furniture and nice clothes like a secondhand store. No, this place, you know, they have stuff that I look and I think, geez, you know, if I had known that people wanted this, I wouldn't have thrown some of that stuff away. It keeps it out of the landfill, but it's also, you know, repurposed. I mean, like this leather stuff. I mean, I guess a lot of people would think, oh, I'm just going to repurpose, just throw that away. But, I mean, look, I'm using it in this fiber art. All right, so, except for this tape is really sticking to the stuff, so that might be a problem. Yeah, when I'm taking that tape up, it's almost threatening to pull that up. Excuse me. All right. There, I can get, all right. Okay, so So I'm just going to add one little piece of that because that stuff's pretty freaking interesting in and of itself. Okay, but I'm going to give myself room for the drape. And I'm going to also add, let's see, what did I add in this one down here? Just some yarn. Let me add, the sari ribbon. I've got this. I'm going to add that. This is a white sari ribbon. That's really cool because it's got that going on right there. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so I'm going to add that. And I'm wondering, I might have to go back and steam that. You know, if I had my iron ready, handy, I would iron it. I mean, I can go back and steam it. Okay, that. And then I've got some really thick yarn. Oh, wait. Where's my thick yarn? Oh, I think it's in here. There's this. That's got some white in it. I'm trying to keep it to white and off-white. Let me go with what's down here. No, okay. All right, I've got this. Oh yeah. All right, so I want chunks like this for sure. All right, let me cut this here. And this is a core spun. All right, so I've got chunks like that. And then I want to add some plain. That's going to be, well, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to let it be. I can always shorten if I want it to drape. Okay, and then I'm also going to, let's see, I want some more curls though. I'm going to cut it off here. And this is a hand sew. So when I made this yarn, what I did, I don't even think I carded. I think what I did is is it core spun? Maybe it's not core spun. Maybe it's just spun. Okay, so what I did is I just took a pile of fiber and put it in my lap and spun it. I didn't, I want a piece that's like this. Okay, I'm gonna cut that off. I didn't pay attention to how, I just put a lap of locks in my lap and some regular fiber and just spun it as is and didn't card it. It was washed though. It was washed. And it looks like I have a thread going through, so I must have had an auto wrap on it too. And I'll put a link to I did an example of an auto wrap in an old video from a couple of years ago. So I will put a link to that in the show notes that'll show you how to auto wrap. All right, so that's what I've got here. I've got this big pile. And it still looks, this might be too many locks though. Let's see. That. Yeah, let's whittle that down. Let's take this out and make it like that. Okay. And maybe I'll add, let's see. I really think I should add some dreads, but I think my dreads is behind this folded up loom. Let's see what else I got. You know what? I'm just going to make it some more of this yarn. Yep, that's what I'll do. Just a bunch of this yarn. So I'm going to just give myself some length. Let's have some more. Let's have a bunch. And this is just a hand spun single. And I don't know if you can see, it's kind of, it's, I mean, there's a lot of places that are over twisted and it's a little imperfect, but it's absolutely perfect for this kind of weaving because it adds just a little bit of interest. All right, and I'm going to cut these into individual strands. All right, so I've got that. That's going to be plenty. So what I'm going to do is, so where are we at? This is in the up position. And I'm going to leave it like that because, you know, it's, since I'm not going all the way across, you know what? I might not go all the way across, period. I might just weave this section separately. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. Okay, since I'm not going all the way across, I actually am going all the way across now. Well, either way. Okay, so I have the last pick. The shed is in the up position from the last pick. And I'm going to leave it like that instead of putting it down and letting it be its new area. Or maybe I will. No, I'm going to do it this way. All right. So I'm just going to put this, and I want it to drape pretty far across. And I want it to drape across this gap and this gap. So I'm going to, and I'm not going to start with this short piece. I'm going to start with something longer. Let's start with this, because that means it'll lay on top. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of go through part of this edge, and I'm going to let it, yeah, I'm not going to hang it off the edge there. And I'm going to lay this across here. All right. And that's a pretty far drape. Do I want it to drape that far? No, I don't. I want it to drape about that much. You know what? I'm going to let it go across here. There. Yeah, I'm going to do that. But I don't think I'm going to do that with all of the pieces. All right, what's next? Next, let's do some locks. And now, mind you, I'm draping this backwards. So when it flops over, that's going to be on top, and then the locks are going to be underneath that. But this, I'm going to let it hang off a little bit here. But this I'm going to put right there. Okay. There's that. I'm doing more locks? No. Let's do this piece. This piece. I'm going to let that hang off because this is pretty long. And I'm going in the same area. But I'm going to actually pull this across to here. Okay. Alright, so I've got these little dangles on this side. What's next? Let's do this. I'm just going to let a little bit hang off right there. Same here. Let that be pretty long. And then next I'm going to do this piece of leather, but I'm going to do it this way. So I want this to hang off here. And let that hang off there. So then that's going to hang down. I left all this lace to the last. I'm going to put this big old piece of lace here. You know what? But I want this to be up further because that's kind of a short piece. Or do I want it to be more down here? Then if that hangs down. Nope, I think I want this to be towards the top. Okay, so what I'm going to do is move this up and put this here. That's going to hang over that, unless I tuck it underneath. No, maybe this piece doesn't go in there. All right, we're gonna X that piece out. Okay. Let's put this here again. I'm going to put this lock first, and then that lace will be a base. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm going to cut it right there, though. Hey, Joe. Glad you can make it. I'm glad you like my videos. All right. So I've got, So I'm going to put the short one first. Because again, when I flip this over, it's going to be, this is what's going to be on the bottom. All right, short one first. And then the long one. And you know what? I have a feeling I might be going back and cutting some of this. That's okay. All right, so there's that. I'm going to beat that into place. And then I'm going to start with a new yarn. All right, what am I starting with? What do I have available? I've got this. I don't know if I want to do this yet. No, I want to do more of this plain, I think. No, you know what? I'm going to do a row or two of this because this is pretty solid and that's going to lock that into place really well. And that's what I want to do. I want to lock that into place pretty good. So I'm going to go across with this thinner stuff and beat that in pretty tight against that. Just a few rows though. Okay. All right. And it's going to naturally make a little bit of a space right there. That's fine. I'm okay with that. All right. Just do a few passes and beat it in pretty tightly. Actually, I might comb that in because I think combing will get it in there a little tighter. Get a few rows in. All right, so you see, I've got that in there, and what will happen is that it'll flip over, and so when it flips over, this is what it'll look like, since these will be more on top. So it'll be more like that. All right. Okay, but we're going to continue with this. I'm puzzled. When you flip it over, won't the thicker lace make the drape above, just above, stick out rather than drape over? Won't the drape make it? The new lesson, open construction elements for wearables, is a lesson from your dreads class. Oh crap, Karen. Yeah, I need to go back and switch that. I still owe you guys a lesson on that, and that was a placeholder. So I will definitely go back and fix that. I still have to give you guys that lesson, but I'll deactivate that other one. All right. So what happens is, yeah, it's I mean, that's going to be down through here, and that lace is going to, I mean, it's going to be kind of like that. This will come down through here. The ones that's hanging, I'll probably arrange it a little better, but so it's going to be kind of like that. So there's that is. All right. Let's see what else is from forward. Please check. From New Zealand, absolutely fascinated with this process. Yay, Isabel. All right, so let me get this back going through. Yeah, the last class on that lace and open space is the construction one. It's going to be how you can use the open spaces as a construction element, and it's going to be more of like an idea starter class. And again, it might be on the back burner another week just because I'm going to be going to my grandma's funeral, but I don't know, maybe not. We'll see. Maybe when I get back it'll be ready. Okay. There's that. So yeah, I'm trying to pack this in somewhat tight against that to hold it in, and so that's why I'm combing. And I'm just going to do a few rows because I don't want to necessarily do, you know, like an area. But but I don't know. Do I want that to be more open? When it's hanging, I'm going to see if I don't like that line, then I can comb it to be something else. But for now, I'm going to just leave it and then just wait and see what it looks like when it's hanging. Okay. Oops. We're going back to the same pick. I'm still in computer brain at this moment. Okay. Oh, wrapped around those threads. Oh, I hate it when I do this. Okay, wait. So I'm going back out here, and I got twisted around that one warp thread. So I'm going to go down through here. And back up. And through. There it is. All right. There we go. Boy, okay, but then I want to go down. There. Pack that in pretty tight around that stuff. I'll do one more pick on that and then move to a different yarn. All right, because like I said, I can, because this is something I can pack in pretty tightly. All right. here. All right, but there's a decision I need to make is, do I want to do the next yarn all the way across, or do I want this to be a section? So I have a section here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a section, because then also too I might leave it open to putting an embellishment there. So I'm going to just go with going across here to try and pack that in, but I'm going to switch to a different yarn. Let me see what I've got. I think I decided I wanted to do this. Let me just make sure I don't have one of these already wound. What's on this? Ah, green. Okay, but I'm going to take this spindle and wind a new bobbin really quick. All right. These boat shuttles are from this woman. She makes these great boat shuttles, and they're really reasonably priced. You see, this one is zebra wood, and then this one is purple palm, heart palm. I can't think of what it is. And purple wood. No, wait. I'll have to look it up and remember. But this I'm pretty sure was zebra wood, I think. Oh gosh, I don't remember. Anyway, but it's she's Handy Woman, and she's on Etsy, and these were like $25 a piece. So they were nice. They're good little. Okay. Put this there because I'll probably come back and use that at some point. I'll get rid of this, and then I'll be right back. I'm gonna wind this bobbin really quick. Actually, it is right. See my messy studio. There's my bobbin winder. Okay. So this is my bobbin winder here. And it came with my big loom. It's a Harrisville design. I guess she got it when she got her Harrisville design. Wow, this is not going on there. Why is that not going on there? I'll just do it that way. Usually they're supposed to go all the way down, but for some reason this one is not. There's a bend in right here in the shaft. There we are. Okay. All right, I'm going to do for just another 10 more minutes, and then it will be an hour. All right, so I'm going to start off. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, this way. All right. Take it through here. there's that. And again, this is a hand spun single. It's very similar to, did I show you guys this? It's very similar to what I had here, except for this had a little bit of, I think, gray Montadale and carded in with the fiber, so it has a slight off-white color to it, a little bit of a beige in there. And this is just a pure white something. I'm not even sure what the breed is for this one. A lot of times when I get a new fleece, I'll spin up some singles just to see how it spins and to get a feel for making the singles. And for a while I just held on to those yarns, and then I had this collection of these great natural colored yarns, singles, and they are absolutely perfect for weaving. So I'm gonna comb, where's my comb? Here it is. Just to kind of make sure those, I'm gonna comb it against that thing right there. And I'm just going, like I said, to this section here. Look at this. I don't know if you guys can see that. Maybe not. There's a, let's see if I can grab this without dropping you on your head. Right there. See that? That's like perfect placement right there. Oh, can you see it? Wait, where's the, there it is. Perfect placement right there. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave that. Oh, sorry about that. I accidentally touched the screen and it went to something else. All right. Back to that. I hope that didn't make you guys dizzy. Are you using homespun or commercial yarn? I'm using a little bit of both, Joanne. This stuff that I've got right now is hand spun. But that thin stuff that I was using is actually a mill spun yarn. I don't know if you can see it right there. It's this is a natural colored silken linen yarn, and the warp is merino and bamboo sock yarn. And but everything else is the one I was using before, this kind of beige stuff, that's the stuff that's a little darker. That's a hand spun. Like I was saying, that's usually stuff that, you know, when I get some new fleece in, I'll do a test run, and I started to collect a bunch of small skeins of single ply natural color yarn, and it just looks so good in the weaving. But I originally had started spinning as a knitter, and so I would, when I spin for knitting, I usually spin 2-ply yarns. I'll show you some of the, hold on, I'll show you some of the yarn I spin for knitting. But for weaving, I tend to go with, if I'm using any hand spun for weaving, I tend to go for single ply. And I think it's because I think the single plies work a little better for weaving. Let me show you this. This is a yarn that except for I don't know what this blue stuff is. Hold on. This is a weaving yarn that got tangled into this. All right, this is a hand spun that I made specifically with weaving in mind. And you can see it's kind of this single ply, you know, with a little curl and texture to it. And then I would add locks in there and spin those into it. So it would have little areas of locks that would just be like tufts. Let me show you some of the stuff I spin for knitting. So yeah, this is the type of stuff I like to spin for knitting. These are mostly just 2-ply. And I know, I mean, I love spinning art yarn, but I tell you, when it comes to stuff I want to spin to knit with, this is my absolute favorite. Look at this one. This is an alpaca, and it's chain plied. So it's a single that's been chain plied. I think it is. Wait, I could be wrong. Hold on. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that's chain plied. All right, and then this one, that's gonna make a nice hat. And this, so I'm collecting, I have a bunch of yarns that are in this family right here, this kind of bluesy greens and brown, a little bit of purple. And I'm trying to get a collection of them that I can combine together and make a big old sweater coat. So I have several gigantic skeins set aside for that, and I've been spinning on that for ages. All right, so we're getting ready to be done. Are you using, wow, thanks for such a free inspiration, and thanks for all the description of warp yarn. Oh, you're quite welcome. All right, so I'm gonna do just a couple more rows, and then I'm gonna sign off, because it is 4 o'clock, or getting to be 4 o'clock, where I am. It's probably, I mean, I know some of you guys who are joining me from overseas, it's a little later than that even. Okay, so I'm just gonna continue to do it this way, and weave this area, and then I'm gonna pick up and with a different yarn and weave this area down. And then at the very end, I'm going to divide it up even further and have a bunch of little sections. And in Sayori, that's called finger fringe. So I'm going to be making that. And there you have it. All right, let me see. I'm going to shift this around. Hello. This has been Sayori. Yay, Kathy. Thanks for joining. I'm glad you enjoyed it. All right, so there it is. Thanks for joining me. And I'll keep you posted on this piece. I'm not working on it regularly, and again, I'm going out of town, and I've been in that time suck of website building. So anyway, yay, Teresa, I'm glad you could join us. Thanks, I'm glad you liked it. All right, so that's what I've got going on, and I'll post the show notes, and it'll be in the newsletter that I send out by Wednesday. And if I go out of town, it'll be on an automatic thing, so you'll get it. Anyway, so there you have it. Thanks for joining, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Oh, how do I get out of this? I don't remember.